I invited basically like 100,000 people to this house party, and it was
Oh
like the
my
weekend
God.
that like, yeah. That was kind of like my first taste of like doing something that like went viral or was like successful. It's a lot easier to get in than it is to stay. So yeah, so if you post like 20 TikToks of you dancing or saying
Hmm.
something funny, it could go viral, but then what? So I think like my advice to people is, if you're starting out, I think like if you're doing the hard work and you're putting yourself out there, I think the right people will come around and discover like your talent and want to work with you and stuff. I'll show you real quick. Check it out.
Yeah, please do. Nice. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Wow. Look
yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah. I
Wow.
got the Grammy plaque. You
Wow,
know.
that is awesome. That's a big deal. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. On today's episode, I have another fantastic, amazing guest for you. His name is Connor Treacy. Welcome, Connor.
How's it going? Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice. So, a brief intro on Connor. Connor is a Los Angeles based entrepreneur and music executive. He has worked in the entertainment industry since he was young, and he went back to school to earn a law degree and right now pursuing an MBA at USC. Very, very impressive. Connor, thank you so much for coming. We want to know more about you. Please tell us about yourself. What was your journey into entertainment industry like? How did you break in? Because a lot of young people these days want to break through into that industry. So how did you do it as a young
Yeah,
kid?
yeah. How how early do you want me to start? What age do you want me to? Where should I kick this off at?
Let's see. So let's say what was growing up like? What kind of family did you come from? And was there anyone in your family in the entertainment industry? How did you transition into that place?
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm from Los Angeles. I was born and raised here. I grew up mainly like in the Venice area, if you know where that is, or you've heard it before, like Venice
I've heard of
Beach.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where I grew up. I guess whenever I like, talk to people about my experience growing up in LA, I had like a super like normal childhood. Like my dad was an electrician and my mom was like a hairstylist. So like I didn't really like know anyone in the industry or like that was like famous, and I like wasn't going to like fancy restaurants and stuff like that. So I feel like I had like a super normal childhood even though I grew up in LA, but yeah, I kind of just organically got into it myself. I kind of was just like the person that was doing like house parties and stuff towards the end of high school, and then it kind of like morphed into this bigger thing, but I didn't ever like think even in high school that I was going to become like an entertainment person or something like that. So it was like kind of random. I grew up like I always grew up playing sports, so
Mhm.
I was always like pretty good at sports, but like I always also just never really like knew what my like thing was. I'd always like see people like in high school where like this was their thing. Like I never really felt like I had that. So it's like I guess kind of random like how I fell into it and like how far it kind of went, but I
Mhm.
guess like that's like how things go sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like in
Yeah.
life, like somehow something always pulls us to what we're supposed to do. Somehow,
Yeah, yeah,
even if you
yeah.
don't know it now, it will pull you
Yeah,
somehow.
um so yeah, basically that's kind of how I grew up. I mean, I've, had like a pretty normal upbringing, I would say. Like didn't really I wasn't exposed to like some kind of like celebrity like lifestyle or something like that when I was younger. So that's kind of like how I came into it.
Okay, I see. Thanks for that
Yeah.
background because sometimes I wonder how do people in entertainment industry even get in there. So, how old were you when you planned that viral party? Can you tell us about that viral party that I mean, did you know it was going to be successful?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I was 19 when it happened. Probably happened like March or April of like 2012. And so I was probably doing parties for like 6 months or something leading up to it. I had done like three or four, so it wasn't like the first one I did out the gate, but it was just random. I guess for one, like house parties have this like kind of like hype cachet to them where when people hear of like a house party, they're like way more inclined to go than if it's at like a venue or a nightclub or something. But it was it was just like at an interesting time. It was like when Facebook was super popular and like there was this thing called like a Facebook event page where
Yeah.
you could like with the click of a button like invite everyone's friends, and so
Yeah.
I like had cracked the code. Yeah, and so uh, I invited basically like 100,000 people to this house party, and it was like
Oh
the
my
weekend
God.
that like yeah. So yeah, and then it was like the weekend that that movie Project X like was coming out or something, so I called it Project X, and so I kind of like knew that it was like pretty hyped up, but like I didn't really expect there to be like news cameras and like someone from the movie there, and like that was kind of like my first taste of like doing something that like went viral or was like successful or something like that. But I would say like it was like random, and I kind of was just already doing my thing. So it was like, that was like what it felt like to me at least, you know.
Right. Wait, 100,000 people. How did you
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, like a
how did
lot.
you
Like I
get that
think
list? Like 100,000 invitees? And where was the
basically,
venue?
it was just a mansion party in the Beverly
Oh,
Hills area. Yeah. It was just like it was like a big house in Beverly Hills. I think what I did was I would let people in for free if I could invite all of their
mm,
friends on
mhm.
Facebook type thing, you
Okay.
know? And so yeah. So I'd be like, you can get in for free, but I need to like get your like info and like invite all your friends. And so basically I like was able to invite like 100,000 people, and I think like 10,000 people said they were going or something like that. So it had like hype around it, you know? So that
Okay.
was kind of, yeah. That was kind of like how the whole thing went down. But I guess like looking back, yeah, it was like kind of random. Like but thank God it happened, right? At the same
Yeah,
time.
you were ahead of your time, like digital marketing or like social media, taking advantage of social media to get that crowd. That was
I don't even
genius.
know. Yeah, I don't even know how I would promote something like that nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? Because it was
Hmm.
so organized back then. Because it was just one page, and you could see everyone that was invited and attending. So it had like this hype around it, where people like, "Oh my God, like, have you heard?" And then I was like the main host on it. Whereas now, like, even if you're like posting TikToks about it and stuff, it's not all like organized into like one
That's
thing.
true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why like it was just such a unique like time to do it.
Mm. Wow. So the news agency came and all that. So how did they hear about it? It was so popular that they wanted to come
It
capture it.
was I honestly like don't even know. Like it was like I just feel like I like walked outside during the party and I saw like a news camera and like people are talking to the news person. I'm like this is weird. Like I didn't even really want to talk to them. I was like I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
yeah, it was honestly like I didn't plan it out at all. It was like so random and like foreign to
Hmm.
me, and it like didn't even like fully register until
Hmm.
afterwards, you know?
Yeah. I mean, for a 19-year-old, that must have been like, oh my goodness, what is happening? But that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, you said you didn't expect an actor to come, so you had some celebrities also attend the party?
Yeah, basically, so like on my YouTube page, you can still see the video, but there was one actor, he was one of the security guards, or he was like basically like in the movie, there was like two kids that were
Hmm.
security guards for the party or whatever. And one of
Okay.
the kids was there, and he was
Wow.
yeah, and he was like, yeah, I didn't know it was gonna blow up like this, like, yeah, so it was like, it was just funny, you know what I mean? It was like super
Wow.
unexpected.
That's nice. So did you make money off this? Was there money or?
I didn't even really make money off of it because it turned into like such a shit show. You know what I mean? Like it was, yeah. So it was like it it was like kind of complicated too. There was like two different locations that night. Like uh we had one house that was like the first house, and then there was like an after party house, and so there
Mhm.
was a lot of moving around, and then like when all the people started freaking out, I kind of just like left. But I ended up making money off of it, I guess, in retrospect from the hype and like doing things down the
Fine.
line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So how did that early success affect you? How did it impact you as a young kid? Did you continue doing those parties, or was that just like, oh my God, this is too
Yeah,
much?
so once that happened, I kind of was like, oh, like I have momentum now. So like
Mm,
I feel like I need to start doing these parties more, you know? And
mm-hmm,
so I kind of then morphed into like going on Google and like rent like booking venues and then booking artists and like selling tickets and doing that. And so that was like that's a whole other can of worms, you know, than doing house parties and stuff. But that's kind of it happened pretty quick. Like I started doing that like a couple months after the Project X party. So it kind of switched from being house parties to then being a bit more like legit and like venues and stuff like that.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Wow. So you talked about burnout. So what led to your burnout? Like after the party, you started doing this other thing. Were you in school? Like what was life like, and why did you burn out? Yes.
So basically, I was doing all of the party stuff while I was in
Mhm.
school, right? So I
Okay, you went to
originally,
college.
yeah, I like Project X, for example, happened when I was a freshman in college.
Okay.
So I was enrolled in college during this whole time. So I was like going to school, I was playing on the tennis team,
Mm,
and I was doing all these events on the side. Like I guess kind of was good because um I didn't have as much like pressure or stress on me to like make it work immediately because I feel like sometimes when you do like the big parties, it can be hit or miss. Sometimes you can make a lot of money, sometimes you can lose a lot of money, right? Because even if it's like completely packed, like you're not hitting your bar minimum or this or that. So it kind of gave me the flexibility to just make sure the parties were good and like keep building the momentum of my brand. But
mm,
basically, I was doing that for a few years, and then I ended up dropping out of school like my senior year. Uh, I basically became like a huge promoter like in the 21 plus club space, and I kind of was like the young like promoter that was bringing out a lot of the young big celebrities, and so I just made the decision at the time to drop out, and I stayed out of school until maybe I was like 27. And then that was during COVID. And then I re-enrolled at Penn State, finished my undergrad, then applied to USC, got my master's degree in law, and then now I'm finishing my MBA. So I have a year left of that. So all in all,
nice.
it'll be like, yeah. I kind of felt like in order to, cement myself and then also to take things to the next level, it actually made more sense to go back and finish school. And so that was kind of just the thought process of how I got there. And
I
then
see.
obviously it was COVID, and so everything was closed down. So it just made the most sense, you know?
Hmm. I see. Wow, that's interesting. I like how you eventually went back to school. I mean, it's okay to drop out, but going back to school to just get that degree, I'm sure your parents are also happy you had to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
no, super, super happy.
mhm.
Super happy, especially my dad. Especially my dad.
Yeah, and impressive. I mean, an MBA, I mean, a law degree from Penn State and an MBA from USC. That's quite impressive. Yeah, that's good. Congrats.
Yeah.
So managing the record label, like you mentioned that earlier. So is that something you're still doing now, or um?
Yes. Yeah, so basically now I manage a few people and then I also just produce my own music.
Mhm. Okay.
And so yeah. But I wouldn't be opposed to working at a record label again. I worked at this company called Universal Music Group for like 2 years. I got hired like end of 2017, and then I ultimately decided to leave like end of 2019. So I was there for about 2 years, and basically my job was to find artists online, show them to my boss, sign them, develop them, put together songs. So yeah, during that time, like, developed an act, did like multiple platinum records, got another producer that I managed placed on a Grammy award winning album. So I did like a lot of stuff within those two. Yeah. Did a lot of stuff within those two. I'll show you real quick. Check it out.
Yeah, please do. Nice. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah. I got
Wow.
the Grammy plaque. You
Wow,
know,
that is awesome. That's a big deal.
you know.
Nice. So you wanna be in front now. You wanna also you're a musician now, but also wanting to scout talents. Is that it? Or
I guess from my perspective, I just from everything that I've done, I have the ability to like put together songs and stuff myself with my name and like the credentials I've built up. So I felt like it's not exactly what DJ Khaled does, but like because I don't actually like produce music, but I wanted to like put out projects where like I could basically be like, this is a really sick producer, this is a really sick artist. Let's put together, and then I credit myself also and put it out, and then I grow with the songs, and then also it's proof of concept where then labels or artists could see it and be like, oh, like I want to I want to work with him, like I like his taste, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like, yeah.
that's interesting. So when did you realize you had this talent for like music and all that? Did you always see yourself, doing
No,
the
no, 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 no. It happened completely accidental.
mm,
Um basically um basically I was just a promoter. I mean, I thought I was going to do events long term. You
mm,
know, like that's what I thought I was going to do. Um and they Interscope or Universal Music Group just hit me up out of the blue.
mm.
Like I think they were just looking for someone that was maybe like young and connected and knew artists directly. And so I honestly was like scared when I first started working there because I didn't even know anything about music. I was like, I hope they don't fire me, you know?
Wow, that's nice. So do you plan to go back there? I mean, with your law degree and your MBA, that's a powerful combination. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll
I
be
think like I think what spooked me the most when I was in there was like I was like I'm just so worried that like if I don't keep producing hits and stuff like that, they're gonna fire me. And then like
mm,
you know what I'm saying? It was like it was almost like my whole life was like being built up on this like clout pyramid that like
yeah,
wasn't filled with anything, you know, so it could get popped at any second. Whereas like if you took away all my relationships and all that now, I at least still have the degrees and like I could go like at least do something. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it
yeah,
took
yeah.
like it just took the pressure off me if I think if anything, and hopefully like it showed that I'm like willing to like put in the hard work to like people
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I mean? So that was
That's
kind of like
true.
why. Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So
that's true.
it was hard though. Still is
Yeah, I
hard.
can imagine. Wow. So, I mean, we all know what's happening right now with Didi, the Didi trial and all that. Like, my understanding of the music industry is like it's shrouded by a lot of like ca- not cabal, like godfather. Like for you to break through, you need someone, helping you push you forward, like sponsor you in that kind of way. So but with what you're saying now, this where you worked, you kind of went personally to scout for music talent. Like, was it on YouTube, TikTok and all that? And to bring them on the record label, did they have to like do anything out of the ordinary, to get signed on? Or is it as easy, to get into music? How easy it is for maybe a young person out there wanting to get into the music industry? How easy?
My my experience being at a record label, I didn't like see anything weird. I would just
Mm-hmm.
say like they're just like any other business, right? So if they think that they can make money being in a partnership with you,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna reach out and they're gonna want to work with you. Period. Right? So if you are putting out songs that are streaming well and you're doing shows that are making money, they're going to want to be involved in a business relationship with you, you know? So I think that like as long as you focus on getting as much going on your end as possible,
Mm-hmm.
then people will take note of that and want to work with you. I think it's that simple. I don't think anyone is like rooting against you or doesn't want you to, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, yeah.
purely like
It's
are you
business.
making money? Are you being
Yeah,
successful? Like let's do this. We'll invest. Like it's just that's my experience at least from what I saw.
I see. Okay. So
Yeah.
what's your advice to a young kid out there that wants to get into music? Is it like, especially if they're good, is it for them to like just keep posting on social media and hopefully get get
I think you
found?
should. I think you should like be putting out your own music.
Hmm.
I think you should be posting content on social media. I think you should be touring and getting as many shows as you can get.
Hmm.
And if you can build your own narrative, like through getting like cool press articles, like tastemaker type stuff. Honestly, just like I would view yourself as a company and just try to build as much personal leverage for yourself that you can so
Mm.
that when someone at a label or a management company or whoever sees your stuff, they're like, they're doing the work. Like I'm down to come in and work with them, you know?
Mm. Mm. Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. So your music, right? How far are you pushing it? Where is it? Is it on Apple's, iTunes? Like,
Yeah. So right now I only have one EP out that I did. And I haven't even posted about it publicly, like to anybody. Like I kind of wanted to like build it under the radar first and start building it up organically, but it has over like 100,000 streams already right now. But the next
wow.
project that's coming out, yeah, the next project that's coming out in like a couple weeks, that one's bigger. Like I have three super talented vocalists on it. One of them was on Black Coffee's album that won a Grammy, and then another artist on it. She was on Anderson Paak's album that won a Grammy, and then the third artist is like super critically acclaimed also and makes great music. So this one's definitely like amped up more, and I've been talking to some people, and I think like critically it should do pretty well. So for me, like I just care more about it, being more like respected than
Hmm.
getting like a bunch of views necessarily. But this project is good. Like this one will get me to a pretty good place, and I'll be able to use it as a launch pad to build up more and more. So I'm
Nice.
building it step by step. I'm not trying to like blow people's like hats off out the gate, you know.
Nice. What genre? What genre? What type? What?
Electronic dance music
Uh,
mainly. Yeah, so it's electronic dance music, and then I'm only using female vocalists also.
okay.
That's kind of the
So when
that's
you
kind of the
say,
vibe.
I see. So they're sing. So you are not the singer. Are you the singer, and then they're vocal. Okay. So you wrote the song, and they are singing.
Yeah, basically like the way it works is like for this project, I
Hmm.
basically sent like a list of songs that I've been inspired by to a
Okay.
producer, and
Hmm.
then we kind of were going back and forth. He makes the beats, then I kind of do my research online and think like what vocalists I think would sound the best on it. Then I reached out to them. Uh, some of them, two of them, I met up with them in LA in a studio and we recorded the songs. And then the other one lives in New York, so I just did it over the phone with them. But yeah, it's basically like I'm kind of just curating everything. So I'll tell the
Hmm. Hmm.
producer kind of like what I think
I
like
want.
the
Yeah.
BPM should be, the vibe, and then I find the vocalist, get them to record it, we put it together, and then all of us are credited on it as artists. That's basically how
Hmm.
it works.
I see. Wow. There's a lot that goes into music. I never knew all of that.
Yeah,
Background.
no, it's complicated. It's a lot of pieces. Like this project in particular that's about to come out. Um, I've been working on it since like February of last year, so it's been
Okay.
like a year and like 3 or 4 months. It
I see. I see. Okay,
takes
I
time.
wanted to just, yeah, where can people stream? Like, so the one that is already out, where is it at? Where can people stream it if they wanted to
You can
stream?
just type in my name on
Okay,
Spotify or Apple or YouTube. It's on basically all the platforms. Yeah.
I see. Well, 100,000 streams is impressive. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah. No,
So,
I haven't posted about it once. I didn't post it about it on my Instagram.
wow.
Like no one even knows that I did it. Yeah.
And it's just getting the downloads and the streams. Interesting.
Yeah.
It shows
So which is a
it's
good
good.
sign.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
sign.
it's a good yeah. Like I'm more like a slow build kind of a person. I don't want to try to like over promise things to people. I try to just like do the work, keep leveling up each time, and then eventually you blink and you're like, oh wow, like okay, like this is
Mm-hmm.
legit. But this second
Yeah.
project's gonna be good. The vocalists are super
Okay.
talented. Like this
Wow.
one's like the vocalist on the first one was great too, but I feel like
Yeah.
I'm figuring out like my sound more now on the second one, you know?
Right. I mean, with Grammy winning artists, yeah, definitely has to be
Yeah,
awesome.
you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
but the people I
So,
did the first project with were super talented too. So I think everyone, I'm more interested actually to see like where everyone goes. Like where when I keep doing these
mhm,
projects, like because I kind of went through this in nightlife where there was like tons of people that I met in nightlife where
mhm,
we were friends and they were just like a normal person. And then all of a sudden they became like a famous singer or a famous this or so. Like I'm wondering if like the same thing will kind of happen with this, where like maybe one of the producers ends up blowing up or one of the artists blows up. So we'll see. We'll see how it
yeah.
turns out.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you have a good track record with that, so I have no doubt it will happen. That's nice. So
Just
which
gotta, yeah.
yeah. So which artists today like would you would you love to like work with, maybe which popular artist right now is your dream person to work with?
Yeah, there's so many. Uh I guess like well for there's this one artist Kalila that I've been like listening to a lot lately. She's super talented. Like I probably would try to reach out to her team next.
Hmm.
But I think ultimately the goal in the end, I mean, like if I could start working with people like in like the Billie Eilish range or something like that, that'd be
Oh,
sick. But
nice.
I don't know if I could ever get it to that point. But you know, might as
Anything
well
is possible. So
throw
figure
it out
out,
in the
figure it
universe.
out.
But yeah, but I'm only thinking like next steps. There's this artist Kalila that's super sick. Like Shy Girl is super sick. Like there's some artists in that realm that I'm thinking of next. But
Okay.
it all depends on how this one does. It all
Mm-hmm.
depends, you know. So we'll see.
Nice. Nice. All the best with that. Um, so I wanted to ask you about finding your purpose because I know you mentioned that a bit. So how did you find your true purpose in life? Do you think what you're doing right now is what you ought like you want to do? Is that your calling?
Yeah,
Or
I like just working in entertainment. I like to continue building my brand. I like to continue, you know, putting together projects that hopefully people like.
mm,
You know, whether it's a party or a song or anything. So I guess for me, like my purpose is just kind of working in the entertainment business and like building out my brand and stuff like that. So I'm like super like grateful and like happy that I have the opportunity to still do it now. Like I've been doing it since I was 19 and like 32 now. You know, been doing it like 13 years.
that's a experience. Like yeah, a lot of experience. Awesome. How do you ensure you don't burn out and you always embrace emotional wellness and finding stability and being authentic with who you are. Like when you become so popular, right, or so rich and successful, how do you ensure you are connected to who you truly are and you don't
For
lose
yeah, yeah.
yourself?
So for one, I'm sober, right? So I haven't done anything since I was 19, which is
Hmm.
kind of like the events and the entertainment stuff kind of became like my new addiction slash
Hmm.
focus. But I feel like that's been a huge way for me to avoid burnout. But also like I'm the kind of person like I don't really like post that much about like what I'm doing on the day to day. Like I kind of like to like take my time and like work on things and then like show people what I've been working on like half a year or a year later. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't I don't try to like keep up and like prove to people that like I'm killing it or whatever all the time, you know? Like I try to more like take a step back, take my time working on like the next thing and then show it to people. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I feel like for me, like it's better to like take my time and like focus on what I'm kind of working on at the time and not worry about what everyone else is thinking, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. That's true. It helps keep you grounded too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the entertainment business is hard, you know, cuz it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of just continuing to work on new projects and
Mm-hmm.
your like worth or whatever like is kind of based on like what the last project did, you know? So it's kind of hard like sometimes they're like working on things and they end up popping off and then sometimes they don't and so it's like kind of hard mentally to like deal with that but you know it gets easier with time at least for me,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that because I know with friends who are creatives as well, like it's almost like your brain is constantly turning. You're constantly doing the like, what should I do? What next project should I do? And then you put in all your effort into something, a project that you think will be successful, and it doesn't blow. It doesn't blow up. It's just no, it can be discouraging.
Happens all the time.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll be working on like three projects, and then
Mm-hmm.
like the fourth project that I almost didn't even do ends up being the biggest hit out of, you
Mm,
know what I mean? So yeah, so
yeah.
sometimes yeah, I don't even try to make sense of it anymore. Like we could be talking about the music project right now, and then like something else I do like in 2 weeks ends up being the biggest thing I've ever done, and then the music project flops. So like it's like I don't even try to overthink it anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly. Like, even for me as a podcaster, there are podcast episodes where I've done where I'm like, yeah, this is the one. This will be the one that'll
Yeah,
put my podcast on the map. And I post it and nothing happens. In fact, I
that's what
probably
I'm
have spent,
saying.
yeah.
That's how it works. You just kind of
Hmm.
gotta you just gotta
Keep
be like
going.
dialed in and always
Yeah.
working. Yeah, and then randomly like one of them ends up popping, and that's just
Hmm.
the entertainment business. So if you don't like that kind of lifestyle, don't be in entertainment because it is like that. It is
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Just, yeah.
That's great stuff. Yeah. Okay, nice. So what would you say your experiences have taught you? I know you talked about like the connections, the friendships you've built, and I think social capital is big. You might not have all the money, but if you have people, if you have a good network of people, it can actually take you places. So what have you learned in your association and dealings with people? How has that helped advance your career and everything else you're doing?
Yeah, I think like, I always just try to think long term, just with everything in general. And like, I'm not necessarily like trying to like make money off of everyone that, you know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
I try to like be the kind of person where even if you are like a big name or whatever, like if I am messaging you, like it's probably something good because I'm not going to message you all the time. But if I do hit you up, it's probably something that is worth it. Like that's kind of more the vibe, at least I try to have,
Yeah.
So because I feel like that ends up paying off in the long run. So like if someone asks me to like do some quick paid thing, if I hit up someone, like I'm probably not going to do it. But if I genuinely am like, oh, like this actually probably would help their career,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I'll you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I try to be like very picky and selective on like what I get involved in and like what I hit people up about and stuff. That would be my advice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that's good. Do you have any mentor, or you have a coach or someone that you look up to in the industry, or are you just doing it all by yourself?
Yeah, so I've definitely had like a lot of people along the way that have like helped me, but like I never had like a moment where I just like walked into a room or like was selected by like one person that like made my whole career or something like that.
Mm, mm,
Um, but I've definitely met a lot of people along the way that were kind of like mentor type vibes, but yeah, I don't have like a single person that I like met when I was like 19 and just like opened the red carpet and gave me everything. So I think like my advice to people is, if you're starting out, I think like if you're doing the hard work and you're putting yourself out there, I think the right people will come around and discover like your talent and want to work with you and stuff. So I try to be more of like a self starter. I don't try to like wait around for opportunities.
I see. Okay, that's good. That's a good advice for someone out there as well. And just leading to that as well, I wanted to give an advice to young people, because these days I feel like everyone wants to be an influencer, like just doing something in the entertainment industry. What would be your advice to them? So just ensure, because I'm looking at you. I mean, you're in the entertainment industry, but you're in school, like you have a law degree and you're getting your MBA. Like if you lose out on one, you don't lose out on the other one, because you always have your degree with you. So what would be your advice to that young kid out there trying to just get in by all means?
I think the best advice I can give is, I don't know if this is like the best advice, but I guess this is like what's coming to my head off the top is it's I feel like I don't know if it's like saying it's easy to get in is the right word, but it's a lot easier to get in than it is to stay, right?
Mm,
So, yeah, so if you post like 20 TikToks of you dancing or saying
Mm-hmm.
something funny, it could go viral, but then what?
Mm. That's true.
You know, like what are you gonna do that is gonna be able to let you stay for like years in it, right? So I
That's
feel
true.
like yeah, so I feel like to last in the entertainment business, you need to be like super talented, super focused, nice, you know, easy to work with. And you kind of always need to be figuring out like else can I like add to it so that I have staying power. So like next year when someone else copies exactly what I'm doing or this, I can pivot and then switch morph it into like something else. You know what I mean? So I think that like just because you have a viral video doesn't mean you like made it. I think if anything, that's more like when the clock starts and you kind of got to be like, shit, like what's my hit going to be for next year? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Good advice. So let's see. Um, I wanted to ask about your family, like your parents. Where are they in support of everything you're doing? Do you have siblings? Are you like, do you have good support system?
Yeah. So I have a mom and a dad. They got divorced when I was like 6 or 7, and I have a sister. And then I have a stepmom now also. My mom was always supportive, but I would say my dad wasn't supportive of the entertainment stuff. I think he was definitely like weary of it. My dad's an immigrant. He moved here from Ireland. I think when he was like 22. So he has a very like he like would want me to get like a trade and like work like you know what I mean. He was an
Yeah.
electrician, so like he just like doesn't understand like the entertainment side of things,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would say he's obviously cooler about it now because I at least did the school stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was tough. It was tough. Like it was definitely like an uphill battle, and like we didn't talk for a few years when I dropped out of school originally. So it yeah, it was tough. So I think like, you know, if there is someone that watches this that's like younger that is thinking about getting into it, like, you know, like your parents might not be on board in the beginning. They may not get it. And it's kind of nerve-wracking, right? Because you're kind of like doing all these things hoping it goes viral so that you hopefully, you know what I mean? So it's very speculative. Yeah, so I definitely like it wasn't like my like at least my dad and whatever, but he wasn't like clapping on the sidelines for me when I was first starting it, you know? If anything, he was pissed. Yeah, you
Oh,
know?
I'm sorry you had to
Uh,
go through that. It's similar to I'm from Nigeria. I'm African, and our African parents also, especially when they don't understand entertainment, right? Like your dad was an electrician, my dad was into trading, right? So if I imagine if I told him, that, oh, as a 19-year-old, oh, I want to drop out of school so I can go do entertainment, it's gonna be like, what do you mean? What are you saying? No, so I think it's just yeah, but I'm glad you were able to stick through it, and I'm sure he's very proud of you right now with all the
yeah.
success you've achieved. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so go
Yeah,
ahead.
what were you gonna say?
No, no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say like it's definitely like easier now with him, but it was hard in the beginning. It was tough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about your siblings? Did you have siblings or?
I have one sister, and then a
Okay,
stepbrother. Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah. But they're more like normal. They don't work in entertainment. They have like
okay,
solid jobs and
okay,
did that whole vibe.
okay.
So I'm the only black swan in the family. You know.
Okay, so what's next for you? What's next after you complete your MBA next year? What's next?
Yeah, I think you know, I'm focused obviously on like building out my music business.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully like I'll be able to get more like consulting deals, management clients. Hopefully I can start producing more projects with more and more like talented artists. And then I also like DJ and put together like I kind of randomly fell into this niche where I've been like helping like democratic like political groups with their events and stuff like that. So I'm doing like the after party for the Democratic convention this on the 30th. So this Friday I'm like DJing it and stuff like that. So I kind of like do that and then just yeah, like produce music, work in entertainment. So it's kind of like the things that I'm like working on at the moment, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Impressive. Impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. No, I'll be on the lookout for you. So where can our audience find you? Like people watching or listening? How can they connect with you?
You can you can just type in my name on Instagram, just Connor Treacy. Type it in on YouTube, TikTok, Google. I have like a website, connortracy.com. So it should all be like pretty easy to find. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
LinkedIn.
Awesome. Okay. Nice. So do you have any last words for our listeners? Anything I haven't asked you that you wanted to just chip in and talk about?
Enjoy the ride and just work as hard as you can. And randomly some shit'll work. But that's kind of my advice.
So just keep grinding.
Yeah,
Something will
because
happen.
grind, right? Don't you feel
Keep
the same way
grinding.
with your podcast and everything? You just got to keep
Yeah.
trugging along. Yeah.
Keep chugging along. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true. Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Connor. Really nice and refreshing to have you on. And I can't wait to see what, I'll definitely go follow you. I think on Instagram, you actually have you have like almost 100K followers. So it's a big deal. So,
Yeah. No, I'll follow your accounts too.
okay.
Yeah, and I'll still check into your podcast too. I'm interested to see how everything pops off, you know?
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
Keep it going, you know?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Connor. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, viewers, listeners, for staying with us here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please reach out to Connor, connect with him. Amazing. Look out for his work. I'm excited. I also need to go check it out after this recording. But yeah, thank you so much, Connor. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and everything. And see you next time. Bye bye.